One thing I have become very careful about since I started sharing estate here on YouTube is the language that I use, because words matter, right? Especially when you're talking about something like tokenized real estate, where a lot of people are hearing these terms for the first time. So today I want to show you how I explain what I'm doing with estate in the simplest way possible. Okay. But first, disclaimer: the content, including income or results shared, is from example purposes only and is not typical. We do not guarantee any specific income or success. Your results will vary based on your skills, on your experience, on your effort, and your consistency. This content is for educational purposes only and is not financial or business advice. All right. So when it comes to me talking about tokenized real estate, especially around this topic, I don't say that I went out and invested in a house. I don't say that my name is on a deed. That's not what I'm doing. What I actually do is participate, or I purchase participation tokens called EST, or equity security tokens. And those tokens are connected to real world real estate. And those real estate assets can generate revenue through things like rental income and other real estate activity. Now, because I hold participation tokens connected to those assets, I can receive passive income based on how those assets perform. That's a simple explanation. And as you can see here on my screen as well, I purchase tokens. The tokens are connected to real world real estate. The real estate generates revenue, and my participation tokens can give me access to income connected to the performance of those assets. Okay. Now, here's another part that confused me a little when I first started learning all about this, is that where does the blockchain come into the picture? Because when people hear blockchain, crypto, smart contracts, sometimes it immediately sounds very complicated, right? But the way I understand it is actually quite simple. Is when I purchase my tokens, that transaction is recorded on chain through a smart contract. So I think of the blockchain as a digital record. It records the token transaction. It shows what I purchased and creates a record of participation. But here's the important part right here. That does not mean my name is on the deed of that property. I don't want people watching my videos walking away believing that, okay? I'm purchasing participation tokens connected to the asset. The blockchain creates the digital record of that transaction, okay? Those are two different things. And then there's another question that I get asked, okay, is where does the money we are receiving actually come from? And this is where I always tell people to look at documentation, and you can find this documentation in your back office if you're in estate. I don't want someone to just take my word for it because I make YouTube videos. I want you to be able to go look at the company information for yourself. So, for example, in our estate 2025 annual financial report, it shows here on the screen. This is a part of the financial report, that money going into a what we call a distribution fund, okay, from the actual real estate activity. There's a lot of activity that happens. So looking at the report in 2025, there were approximately 1.2 million in rental income and 2.2 million in net real estate trading in income that was allocated to this fund, okay, that you see here on the screen. This right here is important to me as well, and it's probably for you, because if I'm going to talk about something on this channel, I want to understand where the numbers are coming from. All right. And again, you can find this in the 2025 financial report in the back office. This is just a slide that I took out of it for this particular video. And I want you to know where you can actually look for this information yourself. So when I'm explaining estate to someone, I don't feel like I need to make this obviously like overcomplicated. Okay. So let me click here, and I should be in my estate back. Yeah, I am. So I'm going to go back here to the info hub, and I'm going to go over here to knowledge base. And then when I go to knowledge base, I'm gonna go right over here to documentation. Okay. You're gonna find legal documentation, you're gonna have presentations, and it is 1 second. That's the tokenization passports, contracts, reports. It's probably under here under report. It is. No, that's yeah, it is. So under reports, you'll find the 2025 financial report right there. Okay. And again, it's for viewing. If you are not, in estate just yet, you want to be, let's go. Let's get that. You can be able to sign up for a free account. You can go in and look at the documentation as well. Okay. So again, as I continue to explain estate to someone, I don't feel like I need to make this overcomplicated. I don't want to overcomplicate it. Again, I purchase participation tokens. Those tokens are connected to the real world real estate. Those real estate assets generate revenue, okay? Based on the performance of those assets and the terms connected to my tokens, I can receive passive income. I actually do receive passive income Monday through Friday, all right? The blockchain keeps a digital record of my token transaction. Now, smart contracts are part of how those transactions are recorded and processed. And when I want to know what's happening behind the scenes financially, what do? We go in the back office and we look at documentation. And that's really it. And the more I learn about tokenized real estate, the more I realize how important it is to use correct words when I'm explaining this. And hopefully this video comes off as good to you so you can like, Sharlrita, I get it. If you get it, just tell me down below in the comments, okay? Because saying something like, I own this house is very different from saying I purchased participation tokens connected to the real world asset or a real estate asset. Those details matter, okay? The words that we say matter. And this is also why you'll probably hear me repeat certain phrases on this channel too. You're going to hear me always say participation tokens connected to real world assets, revenue generated by those assets, on-chain transactions, smart contracts. I'm being very intentional about the language because I want you to understand what I'm actually doing. Not some watered down version that sounds easier, but it's not accurate. Okay. For me, this is part of learning this new way of participating in real estate. Real estate is changing. Okay. Technology is changing how we can participate and learning right along with you. Okay. So as I learn more, I'll continue to bring you behind the scenes, show you my portfolio, showing you the documentation I'm reading and explaining things in plain language, okay? Because that's what I want this channel to be. Just simple enough to understand, backed by documentation and based on what I'm actually doing and learning along the way, because real estate has gone digital, and whether you believe it or not, or like it or not, it's happening. Okay. So again, if you want to set up your free account with eState, I have my link down below. I am a digital real estate agent. And here are the steps. On my page, you're going to find a 3-minute overview. If you just want an overview of what tokenized real estate is or what eState is and what we do, you can find that video on my page. Set up your free account, do your KYC. Okay. This is a financial platform. So you do have to do KYC, and that's know your customer, just in case you didn't know that. So you have to upload a selfie. You have to upload your ID. This is not for the scammers. Okay. You got to have verification. You got to have an ID. Now, once you do that, you have the opportunity to browse the properties. Okay. You can see what's available. You can see the sold out properties as well. And depending on where you are, you can start making your purchases in tokenized real estate. Okay. And again, we get paid Monday through Friday for the first 18 months. After that, it's 10% a year, but that's per contract. So we have people that make purchases every day. So they get to, each contract has 18 months on that contract. Okay. So I hope this was helpful and it was a plain language for you. If you have any questions at all, please put them down below and I'll be happy to answer. I might do a video on the next. Okay. I'll see you inside the community. Talk soon. Bye for now.